Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on answer engine optimization. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kane Belagte, and I'm the founder of Good Front End. I bring 15 years of experience working with enterprise brands and retailers, helping them build robust, successful e-commerce websites. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with some incredible brands, including Tesco, LVMH, Gucci, Mulberry, Beaverbrooks, G-Star Rossopology, Clark Shoes, and Eurocar Parts. At Good Front End, we're a technology partner that specializes in e-commerce storefronts with particular expertise in headless and composable architectures. We help brands create flexible, scalable online experiences that drive real business results. Before we dive into today's content, I want to mention a few housekeeping items. Please feel free to drop your questions in the Zoom chat throughout the presentation. We'll be monitoring it and answering you directly. We'll also have a feedback poll after the presentation, so please do share your thoughts with us. And don't worry if you need to step away or want to revisit anything. We are recording today's session and we'll post it later so you can watch it again at your convenience. Now, I'm delighted to introduce our speaker for today, Riri. Riri is one of our talented software engineers here at Good Front End. Riri has hands-on experience working with some amazing brands, including Eurocar Parts, her latest project, Clark Shoes, and then Sophology. She is bringing in some real-world insights to today's discussion as search engine optimization now upgrades to answer engine optimization. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Riri to get us started.
Hello, I'm Riri, and today I will be discussing about answer engine optimization, or AEO. Before we dive in, let us first define what an answer engine is. An answer engine is a tool designed to give you direct and detailed answers to your questions, as opposed to what we're used to with traditional search engines, which would typically just give us a list of relevant links to websites that may or may not have the answer that we're looking for. Recently, there has been an emergence of quite a few answer engines, including ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Meta. Chat assistants like Siri and Alexa also have recently been integrated with generative AI, and so they might fall into the answer engine category as well. Now that we have an idea of what an answer engines are, answer engine optimization, or AEO, is the optimization of content to provide zero-click answers to user queries and prompts. What we aim to do when we optimize our content for answer engines is to provide direct, concise, and accurate answers to questions that users may possibly ask. I have an example here of what that might look like. I asked Google, what is the air fryer setting for bacon? And it gave me a direct answer. Set it to 200 degrees Celsius for about 9 minutes or until crispy. It was also able to give me a YouTube link with a specific time range and a few websites if I had wanted to look further. But my initial question was answered without me having to click a link or watch a video. And that is what we mean when we say zero-click answers. So what is the difference between SEO and AEO? There's a lot of overlap between these two, but the key differences are, for SEO, we used to create content that improve website visibility on search engines, or SRPs, with optimized keywords, links, and structured data markup. For AEO, when we create content, we think about what the user may ask or what they may be looking for, and we provide them with content that directly answer those questions concisely and accurately. In SEO, we use language that is as closely relevant to the user query as possible. When we do research for SEO, we tend to look at search trends, what phrases or words users are searching for, and then we build our content around those phrases. But for AEO, other than keywords and search terms, we use language that is comprehensible and easily crawlable by AI answer engines. So it doesn't matter as much for AEO for us to use the exact wording, exact phrases, and exact keywords, because the AI models that are used for these answer engines can basically understand human language. In short, with SEO, we are optimizing for the search engine algorithms, but for AEO, we are optimizing for humans. Here's a 5-step AEO framework. I got this from nogood.io. This basically outlines the optimization process for answer engines. Step 1 is to research and analyze. If for SEO, we used to research a lot about keyword trends, trends on search phrases, etc. With AEO, we now need to answer the question, what are users searching for? What might they search for in relevance to that? So, for example, if you're a company selling shoes, you might start your research by asking, what might my customers ask about shoes? Shoe sizes, material, how to care for shoes with those specific materials, and so on and so forth. Step 2 is creating content around those questions that surface during your research. If you want answer engines to recommend your content, be consistent in writing semantic, well structured, and comprehensive content. Step 3, technical optimization. Much of what we valued for traditional SEO is very much just as important for AEO. So that means a fast, accessible, and responsive website. In relation to this, there is an emerging standard called LLMs.text, which aims to provide LLM friendly content for AI bots visiting your site. Sort of like robots.text, but for AI. Step 4, distribution and authority building. With the emergence of zero click search, there is a need for companies and businesses to expand their reach beyond just their own website. AI does favor brands that are mentioned more often or those that get a lot of positive reviews and sentiments from users across the web. Step 5 is to measure and iterate, similar to what we know for SEO. Measure your website's visibility, specifically with AI, with answer engines, and work on areas that need improvement. With this, I have a few notes about AEO, what it might mean for businesses. Firstly, zero click searches may mean less website visits. Answer engines are changing the way users are searching. We saw earlier that AI was able to answer my question directly and concisely, and this might be the case for a lot of user queries, which means users may no longer have to click on website links and video links to get the answers they need. Which leads to the next point. Brand reach and reputation matters even more. If users are no longer visiting your website, then you need to build up your reputation from somewhere outside of your website. This means engaging with customers in other platforms, especially social media platforms. This is an example from the Slack team, engaging with users who post positive sentiments about their product. Next, and also related to the previous point, off-page unlinked mentions are just as useful for brand discovery. With traditional SEO, there was an emphasis on building backlinks or links to your website. With AI, since it is trained on natural language, even just mentions of your brand can contribute to your brand reputation. Here are a few examples of off-page unlinked mentions about Nalgene, the water bottle company. These are from X and Reddit. Next, write informational and intent-driven content. There is an insight from higodi.com. Based on their research, content quality and depth is the most critical determining factor for AI visibility. This means that answer engines prefer websites whose content are comprehensive and can be used as a direct answer to user questions. Here are some examples from Cetaphil and Bow Wow Labs of articles or blog posts that directly answer user questions. So, why do dogs bite their paws? Causes, concerns, and what to do. And this one is hyaluronic acid good for oily skin? So these are questions that customers and potential customers may ask, and it is a good advantage for your business to have these informational articles on your website. Here's another example of a different form of content. This is a Q&A section from a Skechers product detail page or PDP. This is user-generated content, yes, but it does help a lot of customers who may have the same questions to just be able to find the answer directly on the PDP itself. Which brings us to the next point. Product reviews are also for AI. A lot of customers rely on product reviews from other customers when buying a product. And so it makes sense that a lot of answers users are looking for about a product will be found from reviews. It will be very helpful for your brand and your business to be able to collect user generated content such as product reviews because AI can and will gather information from these reviews to present them to users asking questions about your product. I have two examples here of product reviews. These are YouTube shorts reviewing an iPad mini and a Steam Deck. Here's another example. I asked Google how big is the toe box for Skechers Arch Fit Arcade. That's a specific product from Skechers. And it gave me an answer here specifically about the metatarsal area. Others have found the wide width to be too tight for their metatarsal area. Also here, metatarsal area. Some reviewers have noted that the wide width can be too tight in the metatarsal area for certain individuals. And here's the actual review from a user on the Skechers PDP. Have to return due to the wide width being too tight for my metatarsal area. So there could be, or should be, a stronger push for customers to review products, maybe by giving them incentives for each review, even outside of the platform. Next, let's talk about what the future of commerce might look like in the context of answer engine optimization. First, multimodal content optimization. Pretty soon, more and more AI models will be capable of analyzing other forms of content, whether that is audio, video, or images, which means that businesses may need to optimize for those as well. A famous example might be videos or hero images on your website's landing page. If AI can analyze that content, are you confident that that video or hero image is relevant to your business? There also may be an incentive for multimodal user-generated content, like this one here from Amazon PDP. These are user-submitted videos about the product. Amazon also has user-submitted images about the product. The other example here is from a Nike PDP. They've added a showcase section for pictures uploaded by users. And you don't even need to upload it on the site directly. You can mention them on Instagram and they might showcase your photos here. Next, in-platform answer engines as a base requirement. Because of how AI changes the way users are searching, customers might start expecting the same kind of search experience on your storefront. Not just an AI-powered customer service, but more like an AI-powered shopping assistant. In relation to that, there is an emerging market for AI shopping assistant SaaS or plug-and-play AI assistants that are trained on your storefront data. There is an opportunity here for front-end developers to develop custom-built AI shopping assistants that can do common tasks like adding to cart, adding to wish list, checking out, etc. There may also be an incentive for your business to provide an MCP server of your storefront so that AI bots may be able to do those common tasks even outside of your platform. Next, more brands adopting a community-led digital approach. Because of how highly advantageous it is to have user-generated content talking about your business, your product, or your brand, more and more businesses might incorporate into their marketing approach community-led spaces or other avenues where the business can engage with their user base. It increases community engagement, brand awareness, and AE visibility. Here's an example of a very small part of that approach. Engaging with user-generated content on social media. This is from Figma. And this one is from Texas Instruments. Figma also has this Figma community where users can upload libraries, plugins, icon sets, etc. And other users can use these libraries or comment on them. Next, leverage AI to create novel shopping experiences. Again, because of the way user behavior is changing with the rise of AI, it might be the case that online shopping might also change. With the unbundling of search, where younger users prefer searching on specialized search engines like TikTok and Instagram, the change might be that younger customers will prefer online marketplaces instead of dedicated e-commerce storefronts. Buying from TikTok and Instagram instead of buying from D2C storefronts. The question then is, what can businesses do to incentivize shopping from their dedicated storefronts? The next point is somewhat related. Product detail pages as their own individual landing pages. Since content and quality depth is highly valued for AE and AI visibility, could there be a rise in more sophisticated product detail pages for storefronts? Businesses need to be able to address most, if not all, of the questions a customer may ask about their product. And it is most beneficial to do this on the product detail page itself. So we see this trend of landing page like PDPs mostly on tech websites like Razer or Apple. Here's the PDP of a Razer product called the handheld dock Chroma. So it looks very much like a landing page with like reviews. And here is the PDP for the iPad mini. Now, some businesses might not be as receptive of going to other platforms like social media for community building. The question then is, will they lean more towards hybrid shopping experience, interweaving shopping and community? We've seen an example earlier of a user-led Q&A section on the PDP itself. Will there be more of those in the future, or what other features can we think of to integrate on the PDP to build up user community? On the other end, maybe brands who find it hard to rank high on answer engines will turn to platforms with specialized search engines. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, and Reddit are some of the biggest platforms that the younger generation turn to for brand discovery. Will some brands find more incentive putting their efforts to be visible on those platforms instead? I have seen quite a few smaller local brands, especially here in the Philippines, where they do have an Instagram or a TikTok shop, but they don't have a dedicated storefront. There are a variety of specialized search engines for anything you can think of. There's Spotify for music, Yelp for local businesses in the area, Reddit and Quora for general user concerns, TikTok and Pinterest if you prefer a more visual approach, and so on. There may also be a concern with the re-emergence of AI bots and fake reviews. Because user generated content is so highly regarded in the age of AI, bad actors might use social media bots to post fake positive reviews about their products, or to post fake negative reviews to tarnish their competitors' reputation. There are laws and regulations to help prevent this sort of thing from happening. There is the FTC regulations in the US, DSA or Digital Services Act in the EU, and POFMA in Singapore. As AI gets more and more widely used, we do need even stricter regulations that address AI specifically to prevent misuse of AI. For businesses, they should take care to put technical defenses in place to battle against these bots spamming fake reviews. We have existing solutions and techniques like CAPTCHAs, rate limiting, account verification that have helped lessen bot activity on various platforms, and we should continue doing so. In conclusion, there are a lot of areas that brands can act upon right now to ensure their business stays in the game in the age of AI and in the context of AEO. And a lot more can be born from AI that can push customer experience further. There are areas we have yet to explore as AI keeps on improving. That's the end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.